Hello, everybody. Miss Missy is here. Welcome, Cartier, Maddie. Hey, welcome to A Moment with Missy. I'm Melissa Hall. How you doing? Ours 2054. Welcome. Okay. Welcome to my replay viewers. And hey, Ebony. Thanks. Good to see you again. Welcome to those watching the replay. Really quickly, I just want to let you know if this is your first time tuning in to A Moment with Missy here on Periscope. My name is Melissa Elise Hall. I go by Miss Missy. Hey, Miracle. I was about to say I go by Miss Miracle. I go by Miss Missy, and I am an author, a speaker, an advocate. I am also... Hey, how everybody doing? Madeline! Oh, cool. Hey. Okay. Oh, green and tasty. Welcome, everybody. You guys are awesome. Oh yeah, I got stuff beeping. I forgot to turn off my sound. Oops, sorry. Okay. All right, so I have to admit, guys, I'm a little distracted. I was out. This is later than my normal time. A little bit later. I usually do 4, but I didn't want to miss out talking with you guys. And I just wanted to do something a little bit kind of laid back today. And I don't plan to be on long. But if you would invite your followers just the same, I just want to talk a little bit about who I am and where I am, like where I've come from and where I'm at. Just to give you a sense of who I am and what I'm all about. Okay, forgot to turn off my notifications, so I'm getting notified while I'm talking to you guys. But wow, where do I start? I have to say, first off, that I am committed to living my best life. That's the first thing that you need to know about Miss Missy. I wasn't always committed to this. I had to learn to be committed. Thanks for sharing on Twitter. I appreciate it. I had to learn how to be committed to myself because for so long I was committed to other people's thoughts of who I was, or I was committed to being a certain person. You know, like you know how it is, you want to be a certain person, but you're not really that person. But in your mind, you know, yeah, I want to be independent and I care what people say about me and da 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 da. So I was committed to being, or to wanting to be this person in my mind. But I'm grateful that I'm actually committed now to just living my best life and being the person that I am, being authentic, being real. I've mentioned it before. Hi, Z Simone. Welcome to A Moments with Missy. I have mentioned to people before that, you know, I was big on smiling and looking happy, but it wasn't real. It didn't come from a deep place. Hi. Trying to see who this person is. Good afternoon, darling. Oh, Queen. You must be, are you from my Queeneration group? Queeneration. Green and tasty. I think I know who you are. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this. Like I said, I have to admit I'm tad bit a little distracted, but I'm gonna pull it together. Hey, Ebony. Thanks for coming back in. And you know what I have to say? I am very thankful for those of you. I know I just totally cut myself off in the house. But yes, thank you, Millie. But I was committed. I love having great friends. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Millie. So yeah, Ebony, that's right. So yeah, I am committed to really living my best life. And I think that's one of those phrases that you can say something and it's like, well, what does that really mean? What is living your best life? What does that really mean? And for me, if I had to put it into more simpler words, I want a good quality of life. Welcome, Tokimon Star. I want a good quality of life. I want a life that not only makes me happy, but allows me to be in a place where I'm well enough to help somebody else. And that's so crucial because so many times we're trying to be there for everybody and rip and run and sling yourself all over, and you don't even have yourself together. So before I go further, I did want to let you guys know I have a new blog post that's up. You can go to blog.momentswithmissy, and it just tells you a lot about who I am, where I've come from. Some of you just tuning in, you see this person, you're like, who is Melissa? What is Moments with Missy? What is this all about? The blog details a lot of that, but I established the brand Moments with Missy because these are times that I wanted to share my heart with my audience. And it started on Facebook, and it has grown to now I have a blog, and obviously here on Periscope, Twitter, Instagram, and it's branched out where I do workshops. I have a seminar talk coming up where I'm all about giving people the tools that they need to take control of their lives. And I was once a victim. I was way out of control of my life. Really didn't have a lot of say-so. Things from my decisions, my mindset, my mood, how I felt about myself. All of this was dependent on other people and what they said and what they thought. And I didn't really see myself for who I was. I didn't have identity. And we've all been there, many of us. I think I can say most people, you're who they say you are, or you're just kind of going along, but you don't really know. It's like, who am I? Who is MsMissy? Who you might be, who are you? And you reach these points in life. Some of it comes with age, and we just automatically get to that point, right? Where you come into your own and you figure out who you are. But a lot of times life will shape that. And for me, it took being in an extremely toxic relationship, and it took me going through depression and being in a place where just being totally unhappy or dissatisfied with where I was in life for me to go, who am I? What is this really about? What is my life really about? There has to be something more than this. And when you're facing a lot of unhappiness and dissatisfaction, you can try to go and get the best job. You can try to come up with all sorts of brand ideas and join clubs. And you can be in the midst of a group of people, family, smiles and laughter. But until you're really at peace inside, it won't matter. And so what I really want to do in this scope, I kind of talked about it in one before, but I want to give you a bit of some challenge questions. And I talked about the word evaluate in another scope before, but I want you to do some more evaluation. And exactly. When you have negative energy, I'm glad that you brought that up when we're talking about evaluation, because a lot of times people do a lot of talk about energy, right? Negative energies and positive energies. And here's my question when I'm talking about evaluating. What's your energy? Like, who are you? If we don't know who we are and what we bring, then how can you say, oh, I'm looking for negative, I'm looking for positive, I'm looking for someone with my same energy? Who are you? What is your energy? It's so important for us to evaluate where we are in life, the people in our lives, why they're there, what role. Thank you, Millie. Understand the energy that you carry. Who are you? So my blog is like, who is MsMissy anyway? Who is Missy? Who is Ebony? Who is Millie? Who is, who are you? At inside, when no one can see the very depths, the very layers, what makes you tick? And I have to admit, a lot of the energies, I see you saying your color is red. I haven't gotten to like a lot of the colors, because and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to get into colors. I'm just speaking. This is me. I haven't gotten to colors and naming things. I like to know, my thing is, what is your truth as well? Because your energy is going to come from your truth. If your truth is that you're dependent on other people, if your truth is that you hate yourself, you think you're ugly, if your truth is, I need to do some more of that. Actually, Ebony, there's somebody in our group that does meditation, because I don't do formal meditation, but like real meditation, but I do a lot of introspection, and reflection. So like in thought, and not necessarily like the full meditation, but it's very similar, because I do a lot of questions. That's my thing. Evaluation. I like to question myself. Why does this make me feel this way? Why am I having this thought? Why am I having this reaction? Why am I scared? Why am I nervous? Why am I apprehensive? Doing a lot of these questions. And if you don't question yourself, most people we meet, they're not really going to question you. They're just going to come on board, and wherever you're at, that's just where they're going to settle in. So I was talking with someone, and they expressed that most of the relationships in their life, they come across a lot of takers, right? They're people in their life that just take. And they didn't have a lot of relationships where the giving was reciprocated. It's just take. And so my question for them was evaluate, like within you, do you need to be needed? Is that a thing? And they had to confess, part of it was, yeah, I like to feel needed. Those weren't their words. I forget what they said to the, exactly. But those are some of the things when you question yourself. And so that's what I encourage you guys to do is evaluate who you are, evaluate why you're that way. Our response to others. That's really true. The response. I like that, Millie, because how we respond. And a lot of times how you respond really comes from your mental state as well. Your response is tied up into your mindset, into what you think and how you think. It really affects our responses, because there's ways that I've responded to things and I'm like, why did I respond like that? And it's like, oh, because my mind was telling me already X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the other. And whatever in your mindset, it really does affect the way you respond to life, the way you respond to people, what you look for, our expectations. And really, that's a whole nother Periscope when it comes to relationships with people and expectations, because that's a really meaty one. I love that. Yes. You respond to the perception. And that's a really good one, because that's one of the things, that word perception right there, that I've learned to value more. Because a lot of times I would call things, they're being selfish. Well, maybe it was really a bit more of my perception of the situation. Maybe they weren't being deceptive or selfish, So I like the idea what you're talking about in terms of perception, because how we perceive, how we look at things and think things might not be the same thing for reality. So that is also something to consider while you're evaluating. It has to all be about, this is what I see, this is what I feel, this is what I believe, this is my truth, while you're doing evaluation and making room for reality. That might sound a little funny, but like you're saying, you might perceive it to be one thing and it really could be something else. And I feel like we're talking in riddles, or I'm talking in riddles. I have a quick question though. Do you all see a purple like filter? Do I look kind of like purple to you or something like that? My screen, I normally scope for my tablet in the back. Yeah. Okay. I guess that was a kind of weird question, because yeah, my wall is really more of like a blue, but it looks really okay. I don't know. Okay, I was just wondering. I don't know how to change that, but I'll have to work on that. Yeah, it's supposed to really be blue back there, but it looks really purple, so that has been a bit of a distraction. I'm like, and my skin looks different. So it's some kind of filter seems to be on the scope, and I don't know if that's something we're actually able to do. It's filter scopes. But anyway, so backing up a bit, like I said, I've become this person that does a lot of evaluation and does a lot of thinking about myself and the role I play in things. I did a blog last week and I talked about how my mindset has changed. I'm sorry, it wasn't a blog. It's Instagram post, social media post, where I talked about I had a victim mindset at one point. It was always about what they did, what they said, how they treated me, da, 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 da. And once I started evaluating myself, my role, my perception of it, then I started to realize, okay, no, well, maybe they didn't really have to say it like that. But the truth is, you're just too sensitive. The truth is, you're bothered by that because of something somebody did 20 years ago. It has nothing to do with this situation. It's like you have to be able, and it takes a certain level of maturity. I do understand that what I'm talking about, or what we're talking about, it's not something that you can just do overnight. Mine really came from desperation. Yeah, carrying emotional baggage. And it got to the point it was too heavy. I literally was facing a mental breakdown. It was too much. And it was like something got to go, and it's not going to be me. It won't be my census. So I was really forced. And some of us are forced. Some people um, might be in a position, a more healthy emotional state, that they're able to kind of have aha moments and start working on themselves and all that. And it's true, we all do carry baggage. I think for me, it was almost like a survival mode. And it was like, I'm desperate. I've got to change my truth. I've got to change myself because, like I mentioned, being in a toxic relationship, I stayed in that relationship longer than I should have because, as you mentioned, those emotional baggage, because of what was inside of me. And I didn't want to repeat that. So I'm not saying that, oh, I'm, gonna just, I'll never, mess up again. My life is gonna be a smooth sailing now because I just evaluate every little step. I'm not saying that. But my thing is, I try to really be careful about the people I'm involved in, the situations I'm involved in, the things that I do, how I use my time, how I think, because it's like, if I'm not careful, if I'm bringing baggage or bringing issues or bringing my shortcomings and mishaps to the table, it's going to affect these relationships. And sometimes what you get in return is something really ugly, really, really ugly. You have a lot of people that are bitter, that will tell you, thank you guys for the hearts. I appreciate it. The hearts, the shares, all of it. You guys are awesome. You have people that are really bitter. And you have people that will tell you, ain't nobody real, ain't nobody right, everybody this, everybody that. That's coming from a place inside of them that they really need to evaluate. Because everyone is not out to get us. All men are not evil. All women are not evil. All people are not evil. There is a lot of deception in the world. There are a lot of horrible people out there. But people are just people. And a lot of times it's our perception. It's what's inside of us, what we've experienced. And it alters our view on things. So I'm who I am, and I talk about all this thinking stuff and evaluate because of what I've been through. Yes, it's extremely debilitating. And I don't belittle hurt. I'm not telling people don't be hurt or this kind of think through your hurt. Hurt is real. Hurt is powerful. But you've got to process the hurt mentally and stare at it. Really hold it up and look at it and say, you know what? When I was a child, this, that, and the other happened. Your case, you might have been married before, and now you're divorced. You might say, in my first marriage, my husband was like this, my wife was like that. You might be one of those people that keep running into, we call them, leechers, people that just are takers. I like the word leech because it just really sounds ugly, like they are. These leechers in our lives who just attach and want to just suck you dry of everything that you have. But I've got news for you. If you do the work, as I'm sure some of you know, and take the time and properly evaluate your relationships, yeah, I'm telling you, I love it. Go through it. You call them the givers and the takers. Yeah, but when you're evaluating, it makes it a lot easier to really identify the people in your life. When you realize yourself, and I know this sounds weird, but like not realize yourself, but when you're thinking, seeing yourself for who you are, then you can more easily determine the role that people play in their lives, because actually we appoint those roles to them. Just think about that. The roles that people play in our lives, we appoint those roles to them. We have so much more control than what we realize. We gave them those roles. If you constantly give, and you don't demand people to do the work themselves, or you don't demand people to put forth any effort, you're just giving. You've appointed that role to them. Here you are. You get to be a taker. You don't have to give. Even the abusers in our lives, in a sense, we can give them, or we can help them keep those roles a lot longer than they really should. My ex, my fiance, I appointed him my abuser in a sense. Hear me all the way out, okay? This isn't victim blaming. No, I don't believe in blaming the victims, but I want you to understand where I'm at. By me putting him first, enabler, perfect, and not having my well-being in the forefront of my mind, I made him more important than myself. I allowed his behaviors to continue. because I didn't see my value, because I was broken and looking for him to heal and soothe and give me the validation that I needed from myself. So even though it wasn't intentional, because I wasn't aware of it, I allowed him to be the abuser in my life. And he would abuse and then he would soothe, and then he would abuse and then he would soothe. You know, I know it's thick, and I know it's a thick piece of meat to chew, but chew it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. You have these people, even with friendships. Friendships are really, he said chew and swallow, right? Yeah, abuse and soothe. You're on a roller coaster. But yeah, this is why you really, even friendships, not everything is about a relationship. Friendships, co-workers. It's an interesting story. Years ago, I was a manager at a location. We'll leave the business nameless. I won't state it. I was a manager, and I had someone working under me. And they said, "Oh, I just love when you're on the schedule, Melissa. I love when you're, managing, and I get to work with you." He said, "Oh, you just make it so easy," because I was one of those people. Instead of dictating, I run around, do everything, working. Perfectionist, got to do it myself, and all this. But that really had me wake location with health. That made me go, "Oh." So you know what? The next time we worked together, I knew he was this he, right? Okay, the sex has been revealed. I knew this person was on the schedule. Do you know? I found work for this person to do, because I realized, oh, you want it easy. But it helped me see two things. It helped me see about myself. I wasn't delegating like I should have. And it let me realize that if you tell people I got it, sit back, I got you, they will take it over. The person wasn't smart enough to keep it to themselves. But I learned. So I make sure from there on out, not just that individual, but whoever was on my shift. Yes, I was manager. Yes, I felt responsible for what happened. But look, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not going to be your slave. You're going to work. I'll find something for you to do. So I did. I found special tasks for this person. I had it all ready. And let's just say they were very busy. So this is an example that we can really give roles. Here I was being a great employee, doing my job, or having the business in a very good state, but I was in a position that I was allowing other people to be slackers, and I was putting more stress on myself than I needed or even had to carry. So that's just an example that's often, I won't say every time, but often, many times, we give people the roles that they play in our lives. We allow them to play those roles, whatever that role is. We, in our behavior, our mindset, for whatever reason, we say, you know what, here, this is your role. And I've had people, when it comes to friendships, by nature, I'm more of the more thoughtful people, right? I'm like the one might text you and, oh, how are you doing? And, this, that, and the other. Hire and fire. You all doing good with these words here. Hire and fire. I love it. Yeah. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fire people from the role that you gave them. Right? If there is somebody that you notice, they have a huge impact on your mood. They have the ability, for whatever reason, you think and you evaluate it, and you're like, man, this person just has control over my mood. Fire them. Give them a pink slip. I love that. You hired them, you can fire them. Hire and fire. So this is who MsMissy is. MsMissy is a person that was once very fragile, sensitive, caring, loving, kind, all these kind of things. Go above and beyond for people. And a lot of it wasn't reciprocated. And I had to learn when to just stop. And not to hold back because I was bitter or I want to punish you. But to just realize some people, I'm sorry, they just don't deserve your time. They don't deserve, and I mean that in the most sincere way you can mean a statement like that. They don't deserve your above and beyond. They just don't. And the way to tell if do they deserve it, are they adding to your life? Is this relationship adding? What you're doing, is it improving your wellness? I cannot enforce that enough. Wellness, wellness, wellness. Good quality of life. They're not ready. Be well. I mean, just to really pause and evaluate. And like I said, I learned the hard way, but I'm glad that I learned. Of course, I have regrets. Sometimes I could just kick myself like, Melissa, what were you thinking? And then I have to remember, what? That was an opportunity to learn. That was an opportunity to grow. And you have a lot of people that are up in age, living miserable lives, that are mean, that are cruel, that are very unhappy, because they have a whole lot of folks that they hired throughout their life that they kept on and never fired them. See, I'm using that. What was that? Ebony Hire and Fire? I'm using that. I love it. They didn't fire them. They didn't let them go. You are no longer needed in this role. I no longer need you to tell me who I am. I no longer need you to validate my feelings and my thoughts, because I have a right to them, because I am me. I exist. And so I'm dedicated to help people to really see this thing. We have so many of us with these victim mindsets and just going through life in a slump. And at some point we need to go, well, hold up. There's control. Thank you. I gotta take some control here. And I'm not saying that you could just think your way out of circumstances. Life is gonna bring people, circumstances, problems. There's nothing we can do about that. But as I mentioned in my blog post today, what I learned, exactly. Oh, I love that one, Millie. What I have learned is that no matter what comes, the way we take control is we say, what do I get out of this? You're working that job, you can't escape the coworker. You can't escape that boss necessarily. You can't fire your boss, literally. Oh yeah, I love that intimate energy. That's right. But in what way can you take control of the situation? You know what I get a lot of enjoyment out of? Probably too much. I love when somebody is trying so hard to make me upset, and I just refuse, trying to make me get outside of myself, trying to make me go off, and I refuse to give you the satisfaction. I love it. It does something for me. I was in high school, and I was still far from MsMissy up to date. Trust me. I was in high school, and someone was saying, I'm trying to get you upset, and you're making me mad because I wouldn't, get upset. I wouldn't give them the reaction that they wanted. I love it. I love watching people change. Yeah. You control them, and you know what? You control those situations. Difficult coworkers, family members, I don't care what it is. When you maintain control of you can watch, you'll see people transform before your eyes. And they understand, oh, I didn't get the job of controlling you. Are you okay? Yeah, don't give it to people. Don't get out of yourself. You make the decision. I am going to affect you. One of the ministers at my church taught a beautiful Bible class, and his topic was, are you being effective or are you being affected? And I loved it, because that's something we all have to be reminded of. I want to leave an effect. I want to have an effect on people. I want to leave an impact, right? I don't want it to be, oh, there's Missy. Yep, I know I could have her do anything. I can sling her this way and that and all over the place, Yeah. Are you being effective or affected? And that's important all the way around in every area of our lives. Look for the control. Look for the control. There's so much I can say. I didn't get here overnight. I really did not get here overnight. This is a product of years worth of work. 2008 is when my life pretty much crashed. Had the first big crash. The way I saw people changed. I became very hard, very bitter. I was angry. It's been work. I saw how much, I don't like using the term how much of a fool I've been, but how I had made so many foolish decisions. Yeah. And it's really a journey. And then in 2010, when my health went down, that was a whole nother eye-opening experience. So really these last 6 years have been some of the most difficult, heartbreaking, but eye-opening and years full of self-discovery I could ever ask for. And I love it. I'm grateful for where I'm at. Have I arrived? No. It's still a journey, but I can say that I'm actually proud of the person that I am. And that's something that I couldn't always say. I am proud of who I am. And Miss Missy is someone ever evolving, ever growing. I realize now that perfection, I'm a perfectionist in nature. I would raise my hand. It's a gift. I love perfection, but I don't even know if I can say I love perfection. I don't even think that's an accurate statement before. I'm a perfectionist by nature, but perfection is really empty. When you're perfect, that's it. You're done. There's no becoming better. There's no evolving. There's no getting to a next level. But I still deal with it. Yeah, a blessing and a curse. I deal with it, and it makes life difficult because I do want to reach this level. I do want to be perfect. I do want to, especially running a business. Good Lord. I sent out email with mistakes in it. Then I sent out an email that had another mistake. I want to be perfect. Why does this happen to me? Competing with yourself. Exactly. So I want to make it very clear to those that are live and those that watch this later. If you're on YouTube, hey, forgot to talk to my YouTubers. Whoever you are, that you don't get here overnight, but you have to start somewhere. Yes, exactly. I love that. You can't live in the now aiming for perfection because no one's perfect. So perfection does not exist. So you're not here. You're not where you need to be. And thank you guys for the hearts. It's awesome. But so I just want you to be, to understand that I didn't get here, and I'm not being judgmental and trying to be hard and cruel. And really, these aren't even the harshest words that I can pull out. Because I am harsh with myself. I keep myself on my toes. Because I've learned, if you're not tough on you, you'll accept anything from yourself, anything from other people. Also, I want to go more into this word evaluate. A lot of times people are trying, not so much evaluate, but people are a lot of times we're trying to get to the healing, right? We're trying to get to the point where I'm strong and I survived and all this. Some of you, you're not there yet. Listen to me closely, right? You're not at that point where you're popping your fingers and rolling your neck. You might still be at the point that you're working through the pain. And you need to say, I'm broken. I'm wounded. I have unresolved issues. A lot of times we want to get to the other side. We flip out, this is where I'm at. Yeah. But I'm letting you know, And as much as I'll tell you in a moment, I'm a survivor. There are still parts of me that I realize there are still wounds. Yeah, acknowledge the state you're in. People don't want to be vulnerable. People don't want to be vulnerable and open and honest. Everybody want to be strong. But you get strength through vulnerability. Go through it. Finish the process. Just a couple months ago, I was being really impatient with myself. I wanted to get further along than where I was. Just a couple months ago, Valentine's Day, I did a women's empowerment session for single women. I was asked to do a session, get all these single women together, and we're talking about living our best life and not waiting on a man to come in. And it was really nice and it was really beneficial. And I spoke and I gave them what I had and I walked away. And I had to go, wow, yeah, thanks. Yeah, we had a great time. I walked away and I had to admit, that as much as I'm talking about celebrate you and be independent and all of this stuff, I was still terrified to be in a relationship because of my past. I equated being in a relationship with stress. I equated being in a relationship with just negativity. Even though I had gone through much healing, and the men folk in my lives know I am an advocate for men and all this stuff. They're not the enemy anymore. I realize, all this healing is taking place. But I was still terrified to be in a relationship. And I it was just amazing to me. I didn't realize this. I discovered it at the end of last year. And my whole thing is, so be vulnerable. Go through your process. And I'm pushing myself like, how am I talking to people about love and all this, celebrate you so you can get to the next person. And I'm teaching about relationships, healthy relationships. I'm always letting people know. You can look on my Instagram today, Moments with Missy. I'm talking about love, telling people love is real. And here it was around Valentine's Day, this holiday all about love. And I realized, like, oh my God, I'm still scared. I was 2 months into realizing that I was scared. And I'm like, I'm still at the same place. I'm terrified. But you know what? I felt like giving up. I was like, this process, I was frustrated. I just wanted to be over it. But I can report that as of about 2 weeks ago, I am no longer scared. And so what's my point? I went through the process. I had to acknowledge it. You can speak and you can talk to people about fix your life and do this and do that. I'm not scared anymore. And I'm so excited. And this is my first time. I think I told 2 people. And now I'm just putting it all on blast on Periscope. So what is my point? I'm helping people to go. I'm an advocate, mentor, speaker, all of this stuff. And I'm still growing and still reaching levels in my life as a person. And, I'm still celebrating myself. So I'm even happier that I went through the process. So go through the process. Go through it. Stop trying to do all this fake strength stuff and be real and say, this is where I'm at. Come on, let's embrace it. Embrace it and be honest with yourself. All of this, there's women out here. I'm going to talk to my women. You're telling people I don't need a man and I could do it without a man and all this kind of stuff. But at night, and not even just night, during the day, in the quiet times in your head, you want a man. but you're talking all this stuff. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Okay. I was there too. You were around a group of people and they're talking about marriage. You're sitting there like, I don't need that. Knowing you do. Yes. Be transparent. And so I'm learning that. I'm learning, and it doesn't mean you have to tell everybody all your business. You don't got to let it all just hang out. You might, but don't be fake. Don't do the fake strength. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Many times we lie to ourselves. We tell ourselves, they love me. They care for me. Okay. It's a phase. It's just a season, a rough patch. Okay. All right. Didn't I say this would be brief? I'm just trying to show you guys, this is Miss Missy. My whole life, I've been this pretty kind of person, but I really have come to enjoy keeping it real. At the end of the day, I'm going to be pretty, I'm going to be feminine, I'm going to be me. But I love, thank you so much, Ebony. I appreciate the support. I want to see people live their best lives. I really do. I want to see people get to where I'm at and then go beyond where I am, right? Because I'm so not the standard. But I'm not crying myself to sleep because I'm miserable, Oh, thank you. I appreciate Periscope. Guys, what I want to do. This is the way I'm accountable. Do I want to say this? Yeah, I'll say it. I really want to do better about kind of popping up and getting on Periscope a little more often. I have these scheduled Thursdays. Normally at 4 o'clock. I had to come on later. I have these scheduled days, and yes, but I do want to kind of pop in from time to time. So if you you might see me pop on here sometimes besides Thursday. Because there's moments that, and it goes back to this perfection thing. There's moments where I'm like, I want to get on Periscope and say some stuff, but my hair not right, and so I have to work through that, guys. But I gotta work through that and get on, because I know there's people out there, and there's people that won't make a comment, won't tap a heart, but they're crying out for someone to help them, for somebody. I see you, Millie, right? For somebody to understand that I've been there. I'm not going to say I understand everybody's story. That's not true. But I know that God Almighty didn't set me free from depression and want to commit suicide. Do you all realize I'm alive? I shouldn't be here. That just does something for me. this is life. Like, wow. And there are other people out there, you're trapped and you're stuck. And I want to let you know you don't have to stay stuck. I know that it's difficult, and I know that getting out of it is not like talking about it. But you don't have to stay stuck. And I'm here. You can reach me. What's the best way? Honestly, right now, the best way to reach me is through email. But my contact information will expand in weeks to come. But right now, you can email me at MsMissy. That's MsMissy. MsMissy at momentswithmissy.com. Reach out to me. And let's see what we can set up, all right, to get you through this patch. It is a business, so I'm not able to stay on the phone hours at a time, without charging a cost. But what I'm have to say, you just need 5 minutes, 10 minutes, somebody pray with me, hold my, give me direction. I'm definitely there. Emergency, MsMissy at momentswithmissy.com. And my email is it's not my email, my website, momentswithmissy.com. Okay. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm on Tumblr. I'm out there. I'm about, you're in distress, you need an emergency, somebody on the other line or on the other end, reach out to me. Okay, you can even message me on my Facebook page, Moments with Missy. You can also send me messages. I'm everywhere. Thank you, Millie. Right, everywhere. Just look for me. You can have a moment with Missy. But I am working on actually offering formal coaching services. Okay, guys, and I'm just gotta deal with some the legal red tape. But that's what I'm actually going to do, is offer coaching services. But in the meantime, we can chat. Okay, even if it's not an official coaching service, because there's people out there, thank you, that need an advocate. They need someone to help them, like it's an emergency. You might be where I was, or you really feel like the mind is about to break and the pressure, So I thank you guys so much for tuning in every week. You guys have been awesome, for sharing. My replay viewers, my YouTubers, my Facebook people, everybody that will see this video. I'm thankful for all the prayers. Thanks, Ebony, Millie, everybody that tunes in every week. I will be back next Thursday at 4 o'clock p.m. And you just might see me on Periscope before then. Aha. You never know when I'll pop up, so I hope you guys are following me and have your notifications on, because this is 2016, baby. It's time to break out. I gotta break out, Millie. All right, so keep in touch. Once again, MsMissy at momentswithmissy.com. If you have a question, you want to know more about the services, about the things that I do workshops. I do what are called empowerment sessions. What I love about these empowerment sessions, it's similar to coaching, nowhere near this detailed, but you get to come and leave like in a totally different headspace. We really celebrate life. We celebrate you. You get the tools you need to at least get your brain working in terms of change, getting ready for change. So if you're looking for change, you want something different. You might not even be able to define what change is to you. I understand that. We're not worried about all that. If you don't have the words, you just say, I need change. I'm here to help you work through it, okay? So you can live your best life. You guys have an awesome evening. I need to figure out, I was about to say, how do I close this? But I remember. Have an awesome evening, and thanks so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Be blessed.